Hey, hey, her healthy home. Hey, Piss. Stop Kitchen and Garden. How y'all doing? Am I too loud? Let me see. I'm actually rock the headset this time and see if it's a little bit easier because I can actually listen to my music and stuff. So we're live now. See if anybody wants to come visit. What's up, broke farmer? What's up, broke farmer? I hate that. What's up, turf therapy? I hate that it doesn't show me. It doesn't actually show me the people who are in the room right. Okay, there we go. Okay, it shows me it updates the number of people that are in here slower than what's actually showing on my screen. Everything's a little bit delayed on StreamYard, that is. So have y'all who went live with other programs and everything with YouTube, have y'all seen if it's less delayed when you actually do YouTube compared to StreamYard? Okay, let me see here. Okay. Okay, so you haven't used StreamYard. So what do you use turf therapy? If you don't mind me asking, because okay, okay, because it's definitely showing that a little bit late. What's up? What's up, Mr. Stinky Puddle Ranch? How you doing? Well, and see that I'm on StreamYard right now, but it's it's a little delayed. So like when I'm talking to y'all, the responses are a little bit late, and it's weird. So I think I'm definitely gonna try the YouTube, just the basic YouTube streaming, because I feel like it's gonna be a little bit easier to do what I'm trying to do. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Well, and yeah, I've heard that it's kind of crummy if you can't use your phone, or if you can use your webcam, it's okay on YouTube, but you got to have a good webcam. And apparently this webcam's okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try next time I go live. But we got we got everyone, not everyone, but we got a few people in here now. So I guess I'll kind of start with what I'm trying to talk about tonight. So first off, I'll ask how y'all doing today. How's y'all's week been up to this point? I know it's only Tuesday, but I know we're getting some action going already. The week doesn't wait for nobody. What's up, Stinky Puddle Ranch? How you doing? Like I said, it's a little delayed for me, so I gotta wait for the delay, and then I gotta wait for y'all to respond. So it's gonna be a little bit of a lag time. Just in case y'all are wondering, I'm sipping on some coffee. Man, I took a nap earlier because oh, I wake up too early. I wake up way too early. Oh, so I woke up at 2:30 this morning, and I got started. I just acted like it was just daytime. From the moment I woke up, I was just going, and that makes me crash out around 2, 3 o'clock. I'm just dead to the world. What's up, Best Yet Journey? How you doing? Uh, okay, so first off, I'll do this right here. Then I want to kind of start off by asking what plants have y'all all started up to this point? I know I've been watching y'all's videos, and I don't want to get specific, but I've been just trying to. What's up, growing something with what's up, growing something with Jeff? I've been trying to just kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna grow this season on a larger scale, because I started some of those peppers, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, those peppers, they I have about 14 of them that did really good, and I'm gonna pot them up to 1 gallon pots and just let them ride out till I get to the springtime. But it didn't look so good with the germination on those peppers, because I don't think the surface germination was good for the peppers. I tried to do what I do with the microgreens, and it didn't work out so well. I planted about 66 seeds, but it was between about 7 varieties. I wasted a lot of seeds, but I had a lot of seeds to spare. So, hey TT, how you doing? What's up, 504 Greenleaf? Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Cucumbers, tomatoes. Okay. Broke Farmer said he's going to grow cucumbers and tomatoes. I'm going to definitely be growing both of those. I want to see about the cucumbers, though. I want to make sure that I contain those cucumbers a little bit, because when those things get to rolling, they take over. Just like the watermelons I want to grow this season, they take over. And with the tomatoes, I saw you was talking about doing a tomato cage earlier. So I'm going to be using my tomato cages too, because those tomatoes, they like to just get big and gangly and just fall all over the place. So it's ridiculous. But the cucumbers, they like to take over with the vines. So you got to look out for everything. It's all about tending to your garden though, right? I mean, you just got to look out for it, look after it. So that's what it's really about. So Pit Stop Kitchen and Garden said they're going to be planting tomatoes and peppers. So peppers. So those peppers, man, you got to be patient with those peppers if you're growing them from seed, but I think they're worth it. Growing them from seed, because if you can get them probably about a good 6 inches tall before the spring comes, you're in good shape. You're going to have a huge pepper plant. It's going to produce hundreds of peppers for you. I'm talking about hundreds of peppers off one plant. So just keep in mind, if you got 12 pepper plants, that's a minimum. If you do it right, that's a minimum of at least 1,200 pepper plants. If you're just really getting that plant healthy and established. So never discount how many seeds you plant. Just because you plant 12 seeds, just because you plant 6 seeds, oh man, I didn't plant enough. Give all those plants the same amount of love that you would give if you had 50 of those plants, because you're going to have to spread that effort out between those 50 plants. So, and I know I'm kind of slow on the responses and stuff, but I'm going to try to get to everybody. So let me see. Okay. So far this season, I've started hibiscus seeds, comfrey, and saffron. Okay. So the hibiscus seeds, man, those hibiscus are going to be amazing. I know that you can use the flowers for teas and all that good stuff. And I need to get more into that. That's one thing I really need to get into more, is growing more flowers, because I remember Broke Farmer said it earlier too. He wants to grow more flowers and stuff, but the flowers are important. They have uses in your garden as far as pest deterrents, as far as beneficial attractants. You can use the flowers for teas. Not all the flowers though, because just like New Orleans gardener said earlier, she said that a lot of the flowers are poisonous. So you got to be careful about what flowers you're trying to put in your teas and stuff like that, because you don't want to be making your last tea. So, but yeah, flowers are great for the garden. And the comfrey and saffron, the comfrey, I know the leaves are super nutritious, and you can take those leaves and you can do all kinds of cool stuff with those leaves. You can make nutrition teas. You can take those and just top dress the garden with them. Get you a good mulch layer going with them. So yeah, I dig it. Okay. 504 Greenleaf, he said he's going to be planting some tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. So the one new thing I saw he was saying he was going to plant was eggplant. So What's up, Dan? Permaculture Food Forest. What's up? What's up? So he said that the one new thing on that list, because I'm just adding to what everybody else already said. He said eggplants. So the eggplants, I've never grown eggplants. I'm just be honest with you. I have never grown eggplant. So I think that that right there is a personal challenge for me now. I want to grow eggplant and I want to cook with eggplant because I haven't told nobody yet. I haven't told everybody in the YouTube community yet. But what I want to do, I want to actually get into canning and I want to do it like everybody else because all y'all doing the canning is just motivated and inspired me to get into that because I realize the benefit to it. I'm like, oh man, if I can, I don't have to if I can, I don't have to necessarily succession plant as tight as I really need to get the full benefit out of my garden. If I can my stuff, I can plan my days out to where I can do mass canning meals in accordance to my harvest. So I'm just like, man, that's got me just like chopping at the bits. I'm just like, man, I want to get into canning bad. And y'all got me motivated. I'm just like, let's do it. So, all right. Okay, so we're going to jump forward a little bit. Broke Farmer say he's going to try to trellis it. I'm going to do the same thing and be trying to trellis. So growing something, Jeff, I will be starting seeds in March. Okay. I can see that for your zone because it's cold out there. It is cold out there. So, so me personally, I'm in zone 8A. So me being in zone 8A, that means that I got to start early. Just like a lot of the other people in the community are kind of in the South out here. We got to start early because if we start early, we can really take full advantage of what we're trying to grow. So, but just like Jeff said, where he's at, he's going to get the most benefit out of starting a little bit later. So you got to keep that in mind for whatever plant zone you're at. And he said that he's going to be planting, I'm going to just add to the list, like I said, zucchini, watermelon, zucchini and watermelon, because I talked about flowers, peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers. So he said zucchini and watermelon. Oh my gosh, watermelon! You hit me right where the heart beats. Because I used to sit on the porch with Granddad and eat watermelon, just get messy. But ever since I've been gardening, I've been wanting to grow watermelon, and I've done it successfully a few times now. But now this season, I want to do it real well. So, but yeah, let's do it. I look forward to seeing you grow it on your channel. So I'll be keeping up with that. What up? What up? What up? Not much. Just chilling out after a long day. Just chilling out after a long day. So let me see. Can you fertilize with Comfrey? Yes. Yes, you can fertilize with Comfrey. You can definitely fertilize with Comfrey. Like I said earlier, you can take the leaves, kind of chop them up a little bit, mulch the top with them. You can take some water and you can stuff them inside of a container and just really just concentrate them up in there and let them break down and use that juice as a nutrient. It's going to be real stinky, but it's going to be real effective. But you can use it like that. You can feed it to your worms. So if you have a worm bin, you can feed that Comfrey. You can crumble it up, feed it to those worms, and they're just going to chop it up, make earthworm castings out of it. You can use that. It's going to be nice and powerful. So, okay. But yeah. Do I play music? Can y'all hear music in the background? Well, so I'll tell y'all what, if y'all can hear music in the background, it's okay because it's royalty free music. So it's okay. But let me know if it's too loud. I'll turn that down so y'all can't hear it. Hey, right there. That part right there. What's up, Eco Neighbor? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Best Yet Journey, if you can, let me know, like, because you said, do I play music? So if y'all want me to do that, I can in my live streams because I can do that through StreamYard. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to use StreamYard. So just let me know. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, okay. So one thing I really wanted to get into was, all right, we got to be careful about, okay, yeah, we got to use our gift and we got to give to everybody and we got to make sure that everybody is benefiting from us. But oh, okay. Let me address this real quick. So I don't play music. So Tiffany, she plays guitar, and I actually, the black electric guitar in the back right there, I got her that for Christmas one year, and she had the acoustic guitar already when I met her. So she so she plays that. She plays that. Okay. But yeah, but what I was gonna say was I'm sorry. What I was gonna say was basically we gotta kind of look out nowadays, especially with how things are going. We gotta share as much as we can, but we gotta make sure that our family is taken care of as far as the food that we produce and everything like that. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, we're gonna be producing a lot of food this year, this season, going forward, everything. We're gonna be doing great things. So, and you know, we do great things, and it's like we automatically, because of our spirit as gardeners, because of who we are, we want to just give. We have to keep people around us that's going to look out for us. We got to keep people around us that's going to really kind of amplify that. So you're going to give to them, and they're going to give to you, and you're not looking for them to give to you. Let's not get it twisted. You don't expect nothing from nobody, but I mean, you want to make sure that reciprocation is evident in every situation in your life. So there you go. What's up, Red Silo Homestead? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. But yeah, but yeah, I just want to talk about that a little bit because it's just it's you have to keep people around you who's going to look out for you, because it's not a lot of people in the world that's going to really just look out for you, like, and you got to keep those people close. Just like Gigi Naturals was saying earlier, she went live not, if I think it was yesterday morning. She didn't really look for nobody to go into that live, but she really wanted to send a message out to people, because you gotta realize that people come and go like that. It's like, it's real quick. And you got to hold on to people. You got to cherish people. Those people who you care about, those people who resonate with your heart, those people who resonate with your spirit, you got to keep them close. You got to bring them close, and you got to hold them close. And you got to do those things that's going to show them that you care about them. And that's given that time. And I mean, that's why you got to be particular about who you have around you. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick, because shout out to Eco Neighbor. Shout out to Eco Neighbor, because I was talking with Eco Neighbor the other day, and we was talking about how basically it's like different conditions create different people. And it's like those different conditions might, like, one person that thrives in this condition may not necessarily thrive in the other condition. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up, like growing something with Jeff said, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate y'all coming. But different people thrive in different situations. So somewhere where you might just completely hate the situation and completely just not be comfortable in it, somebody's thriving in it, and somebody's really just watching everything going around them. So you gotta really just you gotta take all that in consideration when you're building your people around you, because somebody might be looking at you and being like, I like what they got. I want some of what they got. But it's okay for somebody to want some of what you got if it's honest, if it's innocent. But if it's malicious, you can't allow that to come in your life, and you got to have the right discernment to be able to weed that out. Hey, GG Naturals, how you doing? I didn't get to say hey earlier. How you doing? It's been a long day, y'all. It's been a long day. Okay, so now that we touched on the people stuff, the stuff that it's important that we touch on. Hey, Love Lady, how you doing? Love Lady How you doing, Love Lady's Garden Project some more? Just wanted to take a second to say hey to you right now. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of the live stream. So, but yeah, So I wanted to take a second to talk about soil conditions. I know I jumped from people back to soil. Hey, it's all the same. I'm telling you. Our gardening and all these people out here in the world, it's all the same. That's why when you leave the garden out and let everything get out of control, it just goes to chaos. And sometimes good things come out of the chaos, but oftentimes everything just consumes itself. The same thing happens with people. We got to make sure that we manage all of our relationships and we keep everything in accordance with each other. But going into soil conditions, going into soil structure. So we're all in different parts of the United States. We're all in different parts of the world, and mostly different parts of the United States. But, you know, we have to really consider what's in our soil. And what I mean by that is not the compost, because everybody wants to talk about compost, and that's great. Compost is amazing and compost is good. But you can have compost, but if you don't have say you're in Florida and you have raised beds, and your beds are high raised above the ground or whatnot. And that's fine, but you got to make sure that the soil condition is right for that particular spot. See, raising that bed up in Florida, you might be able to get away with kind of making that bed be a little bit lower because you got sandy soil. So that sandy soil is going to allow your soil to drain faster. And then in Texas, so I'm in Texas. So in Texas, if I do a raised bed, one thing that I learned, and I said that I made that opposite example so I can say this, because one thing that I learned this past season even was I built. Hey, Andel, how you doing? How you doing, Andel? Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Hey, Garden Cocktails with Joy. Glad to have you. Just taking a second to say hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. So, but yeah, but I wanted to touch on the opposite end of that spectrum, because here in Texas, if you build a raised bed, so say that this is ground level, right? If you build a raised bed and you build a raised bed like this to where the bottom of the bed is kind of in the ground, because we have clay out here, your plants are gonna waterlog out and they're gonna drown, and all kinds of bad stuff is gonna happen. And that happened to me personally, and I had to go through that. I had to sit there and watch my plants just sit there and yellow out and do all kinds of other crazy stuff and root knot and have all kinds of bad bacteria in my soil, and the soil just smelled bad. It would never drain. And then I took those beds. Y'all might have seen that video where I built those raised beds up. I took those beds and I built them on top of ground level, and I compacted the ground to where basically they're sitting right on top of the ground. Now when I water, and I tested this, when I water now, the water comes out of the bottom. No matter how much water I put in those beds, it just flows out of the bottom. So it's almost waterproof. Obviously you can overwater something, but those beds are almost waterproof because of one little change I made of the structure of the whole area. And on top of that, going back to the structure of the soil itself, I made sure that I had nice drainage components in that soil so that soil could actually have air come in. So when you water over the top of the soil, you're pushing that water column down through the soil, but you're also bringing oxygen into the roots. You're bringing oxygen into the roots of that situation. So you want to make sure that you have a nice flow wherever you are. Okay. So I'm going to take a second to get into the comments because I've been talking for a little second here. So what if y'all want to just take a second to say some things, reply to what I was saying, I'm going to reply to y'all and just take a minute to do that because I don't want to get behind here. Okay. Okay. So that popcorn machine, it's funny you mentioned that. I haven't used it one time yet. And since you said you're kind of jealous about it, now I feel obligated to use it because the one thing we got to get is some popping oil because yeah, I'm an amateur. I really like how it looks. So I need to actually use it too though. Cause I think it'd be so cool to be popping some popcorn in the background while we're doing a live stream one day or something like that. That'd be really cool. Growing something with Jeff. Hey, you're over here sipping your tea while you're saying that. I can imagine you typed that out and you was like, uh, okay. Okay. He said, okay, growing something with Jeff said he has some corn seeds he won't use. I got corn seeds too. And I know I saw this comment. I know you said that. Okay. Okay. If you send me some corn seeds, I will grow them. I got some Stowell's Evergreen White Sweet Corn too. So I'll be growing that, and I'll be growing whatever you send me as well with the corn. So I'll get that started. Get that started. Hey, okay, we got another Texas neighbor. It's always good to know. It's always good to see new Texas neighbors in the house, and not in the house, but always good to see them join us. So, Eco Neighbor said, "How did I get started?" Okay, so I got started with gardening when I was okay. So I was in college, and I didn't start off college with gardening or anything like that. I started off with health and performance and everything because I wanted to be a coach, and that kind of led me into really the people thing. Like it was a lot of people around me who I really wasn't just resonating with because I've always been a person that's kind of like try to stay grounded, try to stay honest with the people around me because you can make as much money as you want, but let me tell you, if the people around you are cold and empty, it's only going to make you be the same. So I didn't want that, and I noticed that the people around me was kind of in that direction. So I was starting to transition away from that. But needless to say, um, I was in college, met some people from the ag department. They were like, "Hey, you're cool, and you think we're cool, right? So come be an ag major." And I was like, "That's kind of a crazy approach, but you know what? I've already been not feeling this whole health and performance thing. Let's give this ag thing a try." And like I said, when I was younger, I would sit on the porch with my granddad, eat watermelon. I didn't tell y'all, but my granddad would let me drive the tractor around. He would let me dig holes with the tractor. He would let me dig ditches with the tractor. And that was just me having fun with the toy. I was like 7 years old on the tractor doing that stuff. And I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was building lifelong skills that I could take and I could actually benefit my own life with, and that I could actually plant seeds with going forward. So I got into the ag department, and it was just like everything came together. When I got with them, I was a newbie. Obviously, I didn't know anything, but I started to really just commit myself. I started to really, and this I'm talking about how I got started. I started to really, just commit myself to that whole thing, and it was great. I got defeated a lot, but I was loving life even when I was making mediocre grades because I didn't really understand what I was getting into on a really really fine level. I was learning, but at the same time I wasn't learning because when I look now and I see what I'm doing now and I see where I've taken my knowledge, I don't really use any of that stuff. But it's okay because I kind of, it was the experience that counted, but it is what it is. But that's how I got started. That's how I got started with the whole growing agriculture, whatever thing you want to call it. So that's what that is. So Broke Farmer said he's trying to master his soil in the string. So I feel you there. That's like a lifelong pursuit, especially because we can't see what's going on in the soil, right? Shoot, don't you wish I mean, we could have a microscope and we could look at that through like this little. We can put a little soil sample on a slide or whatever and look at the little microbiology, but we still don't know what's going on. We see a bunch of little creatures swimming around on a microscope. So we can say all this stuff we want, but I think the best thing that really shows is the results. The best thing that really proves that we got it going on with the soil is the results and what our plants are showing us. So yes, we need to master this soil. Okay. Okay. I definitely got to use my popcorn machine. Yeah, you definitely can do it. Okay. That's right. That's right. Okay. So, Andale says we're starting our second garden season this year. We have saved coffee grounds and eggshells, dried and crushed. Would that help if we put that in our garden soil now in zone 8A, North Carolina? So, I'm in 8A as well. And I'll tell you right now, like if you're not growing anything in your garden beds and they're sitting kind of just resting right now, now's the time to start adding those coffee grounds. Now's the time to start adding those crushed eggshells, because I'm gonna tell you right now, those crushed eggshells really aren't going to be available till about 6 to 7 months, and they're just going to just start being available at that point. But you really think about it, because you're in zone 8A, in about 6 to 7 months from now, you're going to be in the prime peak of your season. So those coffee grounds, they're going to really start being available in about a month and a half, 2 months. Short, long term. They're short. They give short term nutrition as well, but they're going to also be long term nutrition. A lot of people think coffee grounds are just short term, but they're long term as well. So you want to really take that in consideration. So do it now, or it's not a rush, but do it as soon as you can. Really, there you go. Hey, glad to help. All right, growing something with Jeff. Catch you later. Glad to have you, bro. It was nice seeing you, and I'll see you later, bro. Hey, hey. Ain't that right, though? I think that's true for everybody. Um, we're all, when in the grand scheme of things, and this is going to sound kind of morbid, but in the grand scheme of things, even the day that we pass on this earth, we'll still be babies as far as knowledge goes. So, hey, take pride in the pursuit. Take pride in the journey, right? Shoot, it ain't nothing wrong with that. So Red Silo Homestead said, yep, my grandparents would toss their kitchen waste other than meat on the garden all winter. By spring, it was broken down and made great compost. Yep. Yep. And then you said you also cover your raised beds with a layer of rabbit manure all winter. The rain and snow helps work it into the ground, and when we're ready, we just give it a till. Hey, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. All right, so all right, so all right, let's talk about raised beds a little bit. So we just talked about like the level of beds and like making sure that your beds are on the right level and everything like that. But how about the square foot gardening? I was watching a video by Broke Farmer 76 earlier today, and he was talking about how in his raised beds that he's going to do string lines to actually make squares and actually have the exact patterns of what he wants to plant in the exact places where he wants it to be. And I was like, that's brilliant. And I first originally saw that on Micro Farmer's page, actually. And I was like, man, that is amazing. And then, so I also saw it on Skinny Boy Randy's page as well. So I was like, okay, this is the way to do it. So this year, it's going to be my first time doing that. But I've never done that before. I've never put the string lines down and actually did the whole square foot gardening thing. I just kind of eyed it. So I think that that's going to be really fun to do. There's your proof. Red Silo Homestead, they got it going on over there. And if they do it, I'm with it. So I'm going to give it a shot this year for sure. It's going to be fun. Okay. All right. So, all right. I think that we'll go ahead and ask. So, what have y'all done any particular raised bed projects this year that y'all are really proud of, or that y'all are kind of apprehensive about because the project's really big, or and y'all just really want to get into? And this is, I think I'll end with this. I just want to ask this real quick before I go ahead and call it quits. I just want to kind of see, because I got a few more projects I want to finish out before the winter comes in hard, I guess, before the rest of the winter comes in and we just finish out. So I really want to just kind of see what y'all got going on with that. Eco Neighbor said, what are you building your raised beds out of? So what I do, I'll build it out of, so some people use pressure treated wood. I just use the regular wood because it's cheaper. Like, I think that The pressure treated would last longer, but I really just avoid all the discussion about the leaching and chemicals and all that. Like I understand that the stuff that they use to pressure treat the wood now is safe, but I don't really know if I really particularly completely trust that. So I just rock with the regular 2 by, is it 2 by, yeah, I rock the 2 by 12. Yeah, 2 by 12 by 8. I'll get 2 by 12 by 8s and I'll cut them in half, and then I'll make my 4 by 4 squares. So that's what I do. I like to have 4 by 4 squares because they're really easy to kind of get to and stay around and stuff like that. But if I'm doing a 4-foot wide bed, I don't really like to make it 8-foot wide because it kind of makes the dimensions kind of weird. If I make an 8-foot wide bed, I like to make it 2 feet. The 2 feet long. I mean the 2 feet. If I make the 8-foot long beds, I like to make it 2 foot wide. So there you go. Okay. Broke Farmer 76 said he's pulling both raised beds out of his greenhouse. Okay. So are you gonna be putting those raised beds outside the greenhouse somewhere? Oh, yeah. Are you gonna be putting those raised beds outside the greenhouse? I'm in the stage of not knowing what seeds to buy. I want to grow everything, says Andel. LOL. But don't want to overdo it and not do it well. Andel, if it's your second season, I'll give you a little advice that I had to kind of learn the hard way. I would say stick with, it sounds like a lot maybe, but I would say stick with 4 or 5 strong varieties of different plants. So like tomato, like if you're going to go with, when I mean varieties, like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, corn, and something else. So 4 or 5, just kind of keep it in that 4 or 5 range. That'll keep it simple for you because you can stay researched up on them and you can take care of whatever pest problems you run into with those particular plants. A little cleanup left, but that's pretty much it. Hey, that's a good place to be, right? Shoot. That's where you want to be about this time of year because you want your beds to be resting. You want whatever cover crops growing there. If your zone allows you to grow those cover crops to be just kind of recycling those nutrients in the top layer of your soil, you want to just be good to go in that regard. So there you go. Bessia Journey says she has an ice box I'm working on turning it into a herb bed. Okay. So are you going to make that into a cold frame? Like a little box that basically has a glass window on top of it that you can kind of crack open when it's warm outside and then keep it closed when it's cold and let sunlight through? Or are you just going to take that ice box and turn it into just an open style bed? Okay, 504 Greenleaf. Just use a little landscape fabric, cardboard, and newspaper under your bed for weeds. Hey, I'm with it. So when you get the landscape fabric, make sure that you use the landscape fabric that is high quality, because the low quality stuff, it kind of traps the air in your soil. When I say high quality, I mean it's definitely fabric, and it's that fiberglass kind of. It's hard to describe, but it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It's not that Vigoro plastic stuff. Never get plastic. Do not get plastic. Do not get plastic landscape stuff, because that plastic is terrible. Let me tell you, that plastic is horrible. It will kill your plants. It will kill everything, because your soil will heat up like an oven in the summertime, and then in the wintertime it will get cold as ice. So you don't want to use that plastic. But the cardboard and the newspaper under your beds, that's perfect, because it's going to help get those plants established, and then it's going to keep those weeds out from underneath it. And then any weeds that you do get in the beds, you'll be able to just pluck them off the top. Pop, pop, pop. Easy. And then just lay them right back on top for nutrition. Hey. Turf therapy, I'm with you on that, hey. Because you never know. Everyone is motivated by money. So if everyone is motivated by money, anything that you look up, even proven research, could potentially be wrong. So you got to kind of touch and feel about this stuff. Go with your intuition, go with your spirit, because, God gave us our intuition, our spirit for a reason. He gave us that to kind of be able to touch and feel through life, because everything that we see with our eyes is not going to be exactly what we think it's going to be. So Stinky Puddle Ranch says, I have 6 raised beds to create for the greenhouse. I am thinking of covering the bottoms with sticks, leaves, and old soil as a filler before the good dirt. Okay. I think that's a great idea. So what you're doing is kind of like hugelkultur. You're kind of doing like a more fine version of what's called hugelkultur. And hugelkultur is when you take like the logs and you kind of build up the logs underneath your beds, like because and then you put the soil on top of that. And what those logs end up doing as they break down, those sticks, the leaves and all that stuff, as they break down, what they end up doing is making a reservoir for your plant roots. And that reservoir is going to contain water down at the bottom. And when that water's down at the bottom, it's going to do two things. It's going to feed your plant that water in the hottest part of the summer and the hottest part of the season. And it's also, as it breaks down, is going to provide a humus layer or a humus layer for a humus layer for whatever, for the actual compost of the bed. And it's going to make your bed be able to hold on to nutrients better. So you get all kinds of benefits from doing that. That's where it's at. So Red Silo says we use 2 by 10 by 10 foot double stacked, gives us 20-inch deep beds. 10 feet by 4 feet wide gives us 40 square feet per bed. Wow. That is power right there. That is some epic gardening right there. Like you can, and I bet those beds produce too. I bet those beds produce really well. And you have really good access to those beds as well because of how you built them. That's smart. You got to take notes from the people who are actually doing this out here because we're trying to produce some food out here. We're trying to produce good produce, take care of good animals, have good homesteads, good farms out here. So, yeah, I got you. I got you. Okay. I did some galvanized raised beds. Galvanized raised beds are good too. Those how did that work out for you? Because I was thinking about getting some of those before I actually rebuilt the other raised beds that I had because they seem like they're really easy to kind of move around and just kind of repurpose and reuse in different areas if you need to, right? We had, Andale says, awesome. We had green beans, squash, zucchini, tomatoes, and cucumbers. I'd like to add peppers and learn what crops to plant early that will be done in time to replant other things in the same spot. All right. So I'll give you a hint right now. Not a hint, but I'll give you some advice right now that you're thinking those spring crops, and some of those spring crops take a little bit longer to start producing, but look at some of your radishes, look at some of your beets, look at some of your colder season stuff, like as the season kicks off, because you can really get some. Those pink beauty radishes I have outside, those have been outside for probably about 45 days. Let me tell you, those things are done in 26. So I'm going to do a video here soon where I harvest those pink beauty radishes and I just kind of show them and everything. But I didn't even realize how much time had passed. But I could have planted 2 crops of pink beauty radish and canned those and put those somewhere and stored them off and done whatever I need to do with them. So you got to kind of look at some of those earlier cold season crops too. Hey, LCDish chick, how you doing? How you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Okay. So, all right. Yes. 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 Okay. So, okay. Stinky Puddle Ranch. That's what I did for my icebox. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just trying to read and catch up on the chat and make sure I'm getting everything before I keep going. I'm going to actually look up humus. I've literally heard people say it both ways. I'm like, what the heck? So, okay. Okay, so. Oh, man. Your radishes turn to toothpicks? No. Okay. I'll use this right now as a time to kind of say, I don't know why they turned into toothpicks. I'm not going to make any assumptions right now, though. So I just want to use this as a segue to this advice, though. Make sure that you're mulching your beds all times a year, because mulch, it doesn't just help with keeping that soil moist. it helps with keeping that micro herd inside your soil, the microbiology sustained, because that mulch is breaking down constantly the whole time is just constant. It's a constant feed source for that microbiology, and they're producing heat on that top soil layer, and that heat that they're producing is keeping that root zone warm on those plants. So you got to really just keep that in mind when you're growing some of these colder season crops. Yes, they're colder season crops, but the tops of the plants actually take better cold conditions than the bottom of the plants, which are the roots, obviously. But the roots have to kind of be somewhat a moderate temperature year round. You don't want your roots to be ice cold. So the top of your plant is more resilient. Think of it as you sitting inside of a jacuzzi. When you're sitting in a jacuzzi, it could be 20, it could be like 20 degrees outside. It could be 5 degrees outside. But if you're sitting in a jacuzzi, you're just kicking back. The top of your whole body is exposed. And the top part of your body is warm because your roots, the foundation of your body, is actually being warmed by that. So just taking that second to kind of segue into that. But I did them for a client and they love them. They're durable and mobile if you need to move them. There we go. In the bank. In the bank. So I'm going to definitely take that and use it for some of my future jobs. And I'm going to also use it for maybe even some of my future projects, because my backyard is tiny, but I'm going to make as much use of it as I can. And hey, most of us got small backyards and stuff like that, but hey, don't worry about it. Use what you got. You got to use what you got and you'll be blessed with more. If you make use of what you got and you maintain and sustain what you got, you're going to be blessed with more. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the laws of the universe, whether you believe in the laws of attraction, whatever you believe in, if you maintain and sustain what you have, you will be provided with, blessed with more. So, but yes, I will use those galvanized beds because I like them and I like the look of them and I like the utility of them. Yes. Hey there, Renee's Garden. How you doing? How you doing, Renee's Garden? It's good to see you. Hey, I just soak up everything from my elders around me and I just project it out in the way that it comes out of me. Great analogy with the hot tub. Hey, so that analogy with the hot tub, I didn't even make that up. I learned that from Young Saint. Okay. I learned that from, I'll tell you who I learned that from. So I learned that from Young Sang Cho of Jadam Organic Farming. So I wanted to share my screen with y'all real quick and share with y'all a book that I use for a lot of my knowledge base. And it's a free PDF online. And I bought this book hardcover because I wanted to support this guy because he's a wonderful dude. He lives in Korea. His name is Young Sang Cho. And the book is called Jadam Low Cost Organic Farming. It should be called like No Cost Organic Farming because the knowledge that you get from this book will bless you beyond belief. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you this book real quick. And I'm going to kind of go over a small little excerpt of it and just kind of show y'all what he's about. So let me see. So here we go. I'm sharing my screen right now. And this is, okay, going back to the top. This is Jadam Organic Farming. The way to ultra low cost agriculture is written by Young Sang Cho. And as you can see, it has a nice little title page here. And it has a really good philosophy based section at the beginning to kind of get you in the mood of understanding the principles of how you're going to be farming organically with low cost ways to do it. And like it says, microorganism inputs yourself. It teaches you how to make your own microorganisms. You could literally make your own microorganisms with potatoes and dirt. Like, you don't got to go buy all these expensive microbes from people. You don't got to go and do all this other stuff. But you got to be careful where you get your stuff. And that's what this book is going to kind of teach you. And I'm going to jump to page 232 because there is a section here of why do we need pesticides. And this is organic pesticides. Like this is not synthetics. Not to say that I'm against synthetics for particular applications, but if we're eating for what we're eating, we want to be able to spray our stuff with certain pesticides that are organic, that actually that we could actually eat like the same day after we rinse it off. So for that particular purpose, we want to be able to take care of that. But just giving y'all a second to kind of read through that a little bit, and I'm going to jump back. But it's important, guys. Like, we can talk nutrition all we want. We can talk soil. We can talk compost. We can talk all this stuff we want. But if some bugs come out and eat all your plants up, your plants are done. It's just what it is. You gotta be able to take care of your plants as far as pesticides and as far as disease control. You got to have a pest management paradigm. So we'll talk more about that in the future, but I just wanted to touch on that because that's super important. There you go. Bam. Okay. So, hey, I'll see you later, Eco Neighbor. I'll see you later, Eco Neighbor. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. I'll see you later, Broke Farmer. Broke Farmer, see you later. Red Silo Homestead says we have 6 acres here, and we garden on only about a quarter acre. If you do it right, you can grow about all that you need in a very small area. If I could highlight a comment tonight, it would be this. Because everybody wants to have all this land. Everybody wants to have all this land. And you should want to have a lot of land, but you shouldn't want to grow on all of that land, because you will kill yourself. You'll be out there one day messing with something on one of your acres, dead tired, and get bit by a snake or something. You don't want to be out there going crazy on your land like that. You want to do something that you can manage, or that you can have people that you employ to manage and that you can maintain. Because if you don't, you're going to be drained all the time, because we're already drained all the time. What do you think you're going to be when you get a farm? You think you're going to magically just be invigorated because you're putting your fingers in the dirt all the time and you're taking care of animals? No, these things have demands just like everything else in your life. So you have to be ready to take care of these animals. You have to be ready to take care of these plants, these beds, these greenhouses, everything. Because if you don't, what's the point? Okay, yeah, I'm going to pin that. I'm going to pin that comment for later or whatnot. So, but yeah, I'll pin it later. But yeah, so my thing is, I'll talk about this in closing, because we'll go ahead and talk about this and we'll say our goodbyes for tonight. But my plan is, I want to get about 2 acres. I want to get about 2.5 acres, and we want to grow on that. Not the whole 2.5 acres, but we want to grow on 1 acre. That is our grand plan, is to grow on that 1 acre. And that is, once we get that, we want to do that for 5 to 7 years on 1 acre. After we've worked our way up to that 1 acre, we want to be working that 1 acre for 5 to 7 years. And of course, like, we want to have about a half acre to another, like to an acre, to have our animal life on, whether it be goats, but we're going to have small cattle. We're going to have chickens. We're going to have goats, maybe even miniature goats. We're going to have just smaller animals on that other acre. And we're going to scale up that. So that's why I say 2.5 acres, because I want to have a half acre to have my house, have my yard, have all that stuff on. And then the other 2 acres be the area that we use for growing on. So yeah. Hey, and turf therapy hit it on the head. Like, it's nice to have a nice set amount of acres, but you don't want to have all that stuff. It will drive you crazy. It will drive you nuts, and you will drive yourself away from your dream. So whenever you're building that dream, you just want to make sure that you're building it in a way that you can sustain it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And so Turf Therapy said that. He said most families can't eat produce from 1,000 square feet. So what a lot of people don't realize is, and I had to get this fresh perspective just this past summer, and I've been on massive acres. I've lived on 80 acres before, but me and the wife went to go look at a house on 2 acres, and I was just like, boom, how big that land was. I was just like, I can't imagine doing everything that I need to do on this 2 acres. Like, my mind was literally blown by just 2 acres. And I've lived on 80 acres. But the 80 acres was just kind of like desert wetlands. So that was kind of just like a big campsite. But yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. Best Yet Journey says, I want to learn how to work with what we're using for now. What for using for now? It's a lot of work. Hey, we got to master what we got. All right. Yep. I'm with it. Yep. We got to focus on the small things first. And hey, so I want to go ahead and just take a moment to thank everybody for coming tonight. It's been, oh, hey, wait a second. Miss Grando, how you doing? Missy Grando, how you doing? Glad to have you. And I'm sorry that we're about to actually close it out, but I'm glad that you got to show up before we actually close it out. But but yeah, I'm glad to have you here. So, like I was saying, glad to have everybody here. It's been a wonderful time tonight. So everybody go ahead and get your good nights in. Hey, I can't wait to see y'all's new videos. I can't wait to see y'all's new projects. I can't wait to just I can't wait to get my hands in the dirt. Spring can't come no faster. We're so pumped. Hey, appreciate that turf therapy, my brother. Hey, I can't wait to the next live stream. I'll be having that. Well, maybe the next one, but I'll be having that hoodie on because I got the same red hoodie that Broke Farmer got because I was like, man, that thing is sharp. When he was on his live stream the other night, I was looking at that. I was like, that hoodie is where it's at. So I got one and I'm going to be rocking it hard. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good night. It's been a pleasure. It's been my pleasure. And I can't wait to see y'all the next time. It's been a great live. And like my brother Eco Neighbor says, grow. Good night, y'all.